This detour was removed in late September and we've already looked into it when riding north from the CBD. Let's run through it now, looking at the detour riding south. The start of the detour is marked with a wire fence and footpath closed sign. Turn right here. This shared path ends at a side road. The turn to the right is clearly marked, but watch for vehicles coming from either direction. When you get to the traffic lights at Vincent Street, go straight ahead and ride across the islands. Watch out for the slip road after the last island. This is not marked as a pedestrian crossing and you have to give way to drivers approaching from your left. Get onto the footpath and ride along until you go, oh, hang on, what? Why am I riding on the footpath when there's a sign over there that says cyclist in lane? There's no option to transition from the path to the road. You just go when you can. Ride through the roundabout and up the hill to the next set of traffic lights. Take the left-hand lane and when the light turns green, ride across with the pedestrians to the island on the far side of the road. Turn right, cross the road, and you're back on the shared path. Well, that didn't seem right, so let's go back and try again. When you exit the side road at the traffic lights on Vincent Street, get onto the islands without colliding with any of the poles that litter the islands. Some of the gaps are a tight squeeze on a mountain bike. Cross the road, go around the islands, up the slip lane, and get onto the footpath. Follow the footpath until you get to the roundabout, and then, what? Oh, hang on. What are we doing now? Why are we riding through this garden? How do we end up in this car park? Where on earth are we going now? Why am I following you? Are we stopping at a cafe for coffee? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, if you're lucky, find your way back onto the footpath and ride up to the traffic lights. Ride across to the island, turn right, and you're back on the shared path. Well, that definitely didn't seem to be the route that we were supposed to take. Let's go back and try a third time. When you exit the side road, look to your right to see if any vehicles are approaching. Jump the curb, cross the slip lane and get into the vehicle lane that's going straight ahead on Leederville Parade. Go straight up the road, staying in the vehicle lane. Ignore impatient drivers who want to overtake in the narrow gap between the traffic cones. Try not to think about the drivers who are exceeding the speed limit as you ride up the hill to the next set of lights. As you approach the lights, move to the right and get into the middle lane. This lane goes straight ahead and you can go from this lane straight onto the shared path without having to muck about with riding from island to island and waiting for lights. It's not for the faint-hearted though. Well, let's try this one more time and see if we get it right. When you exit the side road at the lights, ride from island to island, dodging the signposts on the islands, and then get into the slip lane on the far side. Use the slip lane to then join onto Leederville Parade. When you get to the next set of traffic lights, if you don't feel confident mixing it up with lots of fast-moving traffic, stay in the left lane and get onto the far traffic island. Turn right, wait for another green light, and then cross to get back on the shared path. Well, I'm still not sure which of these routes was the correct one. If you're confused, you're not alone. And this is why we sometimes need 60-second detour guides to show how to safely get through a mess like this.